Sing a song. Announce the raffle tickets.
Raffle tickets, get your raffle tickets. Come on, get your raffle tickets over here by Dan. Raffle tickets.
Take it away like that. I already got
Why do I need to say that? Why can't you say that?
It's been really fun. Brittany sang a song.
Yeah, no, we do not want that.
You can say this is your raffle ticket.
People are sick of me. They do not want to hear from me. So, do I get 2 tickets? I'm more full than I need to be.
$2. No. In Eastern Tennessee, Southeast Tennessee. That's the I did so many days there. And I'm in graduate school. There for 6 years. Virginia. Eugene, Oregon for free. Yeah, started when I was 2. Yeah. So we've lived all over.
Last call for raffle tickets. Last call for raffle tickets.
All right. Good afternoon, Rotary Club of Tucson. Welcome to the meeting on March 4th of the RCOT, and we are going to get the meeting started with a brand new member who you're going to hear about in just a couple of minutes. So, John, take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What's the next? Well, wait a minute. No piano?
No piano man.
Okay. All right. All right. You want to lead the a cappella choir?
Sure. It's
What song do you know?
are they
They usually put the words up, but I don't see it up there. God bless America. So there you go. So
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and hide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, John, and thank you, the Rotary a cappella choir. Comes through again. And it was actually recognizable and, pretty much in tune, so way to go. So I want to start today with the announcement that Mr. Gary Hirsch is in the house. Stand up, Mr. Gary. And this is Gary's last meeting with us as he's moving to Portugal in 2 weeks. So I hope all of you have the chance to let him know how much he meant to the club, how much he meant to our community and me, and wish him well. And also put in your reservation to stay at his place in Portugal. I have it on good authority that he has an extra bedroom and is waiting for Rotarians to come visit. So, right, Gary? Okay, Mr. Joe Danishevsky is going to give us the inspiration, and he's a business consultant who graduated from Lemoyne College. So, Joe D.
Okay, how we doing? Don't look, you might see. Don't listen, you might hear. Don't think, you might learn. Don't try, you might fail. Don't walk, you might stumble. Don't run, you might fall. Don't just live, live fully, make changes, and grow.
And our newest track star here, Mr. State Farm Insurance himself. Help me welcome Dan Combe.
Well, to all of those that you helped me with the raffle tickets and making the announcements today, I thank you very much. Now, if you're here as a member or guest, remember, we video this and we put it on YouTube. So if you're traveling, you can watch it. If you want to send it to family, you can watch it. If you really like what our guest has to say today, you can watch it and send it to other people around the country. And like Chuck Sawyer's home today, couldn't make it. Chuck, how are you? Everybody wave to Chuck. Chuck. Yeah, that's what you can do. So if you can't make it, you can make it. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, so if you're a guest today, I'd like you to stand up so we can recognize you. So when I call your name, if you stand up, and let's recognize from Plymouth, California, Carl and Marilyn McDaniel. Welcome. All right, and now we have some guests. Guests of Luda Eisenman, Makina Dudden. Guest to Alan Schroep, Steve Pope. Steve. Guest to Alan Schroep, Sherry Tobin. Sherry? Hi, Sherry. Guest to Alan Schroep, Bill Tobin. Hi, surprise, they're sitting together. Huh. Guest to Nancy Stockton, Sophie Brown. Sophie? Guest to Nancy Stockton, Daniel Sanchez. Daniel. Nice sweatshirt, dude. Guest to Nancy Stockton, Rob Petark. All right, we're almost done. Maybe. Second page. Guest to Nancy Stockton, Lee Borsich. Lee? Hi. Guest to Don Rawlings, Chris Smith. Chris? Welcome all. If you like what you see today and you like our club and you think this might be a good fit, we have a lot of good stuff going on. Grab a membership packet at the back table, and we would like to entertain having you as a member if that's something you would enjoy today. Thank you for all being here.
Thank you, Mr. Dan. And we had a quick wave to Carl and Marilyn McDaniel, who I'd like to call up to do a flag exchange. I think. We have a flag here. There we go. Where is it? Here it is. There we go. So you see all these flags on the centerpieces at your tables? So those are representative of members of other clubs who have visited, or clubs who our members have visited, and we do a flag exchange. So they get this very cool Rotary Club of Tucson flag to take back to Plymouth, California, and we get, you want to say something? All right, and so we get this really cool flag from Plymouth Foothills. I knew there was an extra word there. From Plymouth Foothills in California. So thank you to Carl and Marilyn. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Guess what time it is? Cookie Monster time. Gary Olson, where are you? There he is from Restoration One. And as a cookie sponsor, Gary gets when the cookie, there you go, cookies are coming out. You'll see his name and company on the table tents there that are on the, I guess we should call them cookie tents. On the cookie tents, he gets this equally cool Rotary bag because he gets to take home the extra cookies. And best of all, is the limited edition, highly coveted Cookie Monster badge to wear. So yay, so Gary is now getting officially inducted into one of the more exclusive clubs in Tucson.
Is this a cookie?
So I wouldn't need it if I were you. The badges are to be worn, not to be eaten, although I do understand they're gluten-free. So now I am very excited to introduce to you Diana Medeiros, whose occupation is an artist. You may not know that. You might think that her occupation is as lottery ticket winner, but she's really an incredible artist that I'm sure you've all seen her stuff around, and she is going to introduce you to our program today. So Diana, come on up.
So I committed last time I won to donate my next winning to the club. So if it's a big one today, the club gets some money. All right. The project we will hear about today is called On Beat Studio, and it's an unusual but profound collaboration between the Tucson Police Department and Sunnyside Unified School District. The premise behind the project in this high crime, high violence area is to get the kids interested in music, which provides a healthy alternative to involvement with gangs and street crime. And to tell you about the program is Assistant Chief Mickey Peterson. He's a native Tucsonan and has been with the force now for 30 years. In 2006, he became the division commander of Operations Division South. Now, I said to him, you know, you get the tough assignments to the South Side. And he said 20 years ago, it was totally different than it is today. 20 years ago, you didn't send an officer out without another officer in the car with you, and it was a scary thing to go into the South Side. But through a lot of hard work and creative programming, the community and the police force have a great relationship today. Chief Peterson served active duty in the Marine Corps and then the Navy Reserve. He has a degree in emergency management from the American Military University and a graduate degree in education leadership from NAU. He has very little free time, but when he does, he spends it all with his family. And to quote, and I'm not sure if this is your quote or another quote from the police department, "I have never chased a youth down an alley who is carrying a violin." So, please welcome Chief Peterson.
Okay, can everybody hear me okay? All right, well, thank you for letting me be here to speak, and thank you to Granger over here, who I happened to make that statement when I was speaking one time, and I have not lived it down since then. I appreciate being given the time to talk about Tucson youth music and the police department and what we're doing to address violent crime and get kids involved with music. I am not a musician. I don't play an instrument. I can't sing. And I've never had anything to do with music, which makes this a weird partnership, right? So a couple years ago, I was tasked with addressing a high gun crime area. And what we did is we broke the city down into 500-meter blocks or spaces. And we found one on the south side near Bilby and Campbell, if you know where that is, by Sunnyside High School, large apartment complex in that area. And that was the top location for gun crime in the city. Those 500 square meters had more gun crime than anywhere else in the city, and it had that gun crime historically for about 25 years. So we looked at it and we said, all right, what's going on here? We know we're making arrests. We're catching bad guys. Someone would shoot somebody. We would go in and arrest them. They would go to prison. But the crime stayed. No matter how many times we removed a bad actor from that environment, the crime stayed. And so back several years ago, Chief Hall, who was with us, brought us a program called Place Network Investigations, where we looked at maybe it's not the people, maybe it's the place. And how do we address gun crime and violent crime and get that to come down and impact those neighborhoods? And so through that, we were doing many things to address gun crime. And we are very good at being reactive. A crime happens, our agency is one of the tops in the nation at going out and finding that person, building a case, prosecuting them, and completing the justice process and getting them in prison and dealing with that. What we're not good at and what we have historically really failed at, and I think most police departments around the country, is proactive work. How do we stop that kid from picking up a gun in the first place? How do we stop that child from making that decision to go with a group of people that are doing bad things? And that's where we failed. So we started looking at ways to address that, and that's where we ran into Dana, who's sitting over here on the end, with Tucson Youth Music. And we thought, well, what if we offered them some after-school programs? Tucson Youth Music has outstanding programs to provide free instruments and free instruction to children to get them involved in music. And that kind of developed into us working on a plan to get it into the schools at Sunnyside School District, who we have a great relationship with. Superintendent Jose Gastelum is a great partner, has worked well with us for a long time. And during that research, we found a study that was done in Long Beach with the police department and an educator, academic, where they brought music in and started teaching kids, but then they worked with the universities and they studied the actual brains of these children when they went through this. And what they found was when kids were exposed to music and taught music, they did better in school, grades went up, attendance improved, self-esteem went up, but also other things happened. Physiologically, the brains changed. And when they measured the brains, and I'm not a doctor, so the sponginess of the brain, that allowed them to have better impulse control, make better decisions, improve their reading comprehension, all the things that would help them excel in school and life increased when they were in these music programs. So that's when we decided to start working on that. We worked with the Ward 5 office, Mr. Fimbres, when he was the Ward 5 councilman, the Department of Justice under Biden, the Arizona U.S. Attorney gave us a grant, and we were able to start this program for a couple of years. I think we're in our second year now. And we really saw some incredible things that we didn't expect, or at least I didn't expect. I'm sure the music people expected it. But we had officers join the students in the lessons. And the impact of that on the kids, to see an adult sit there and struggle with them, and to see an authority figure, somebody with a badge, who they've only known as an authority figure in their lives, or probably seen in a negative period. They're seeing them standing there with a violin or a guitar and failing at the lesson like they are, and learning that, wait a minute, that policing is their job, but they're people too. And they can make mistakes, and I can make mistakes like them. So that it kind of built those relationships. And we are waiting on all the data to come back to see what kind of effect we've had over the first 2 years. But what I can tell you anecdotally and what we've seen is the change in the kids. Our retention from semester to semester is going up. And we're adding more kids each semester. And what that tells me is the kids that are in it are enjoying it. They're getting better. They're staying in school because they're not dropping out of the program. They're showing up for class because they have to attend class. They have to keep their grades up. So we're seeing improvement in school. They're talking their friends into joining. Other people are seeing them and seeing this as a good thing. And there's a positive aspect on the outside. One of the really, life-changing events or something, I would call it that we had, was a 13-year-old boy was having problems at home. And he was having a lot of difficulty, some mental health issues, and at one point became suicidal and was essentially barricaded with a large knife. We had officers show up, and like we do on something like that, we surround the area, and then we lock it down, and we try and talk them out. Anybody who's watched the news sees how those things kind of can end sometimes, right? When someone comes out with a knife or a weapon, that can have a bad result. And so they were standing off, and they're trying to talk this kid out. And one of the officers showed up on the scene who participated with the students. And we said, hey, do you know this kid? And she said, well, yeah, I do. And what you're doing is all wrong, because when I watch him in class and I see what's going on, he's not going to react to the way you're calling him out. He doesn't have a father. Get Danny over here, because Danny has 3 boys, and said, have him talk to him like he talks to his kids. And we brought Danny over, and Danny talked to this kid over the PA system, and it clicked. We hit that psychological moment where that kid now wasn't talking to the police. We were able to break through, and he stepped out. And then she, the other female officer, stepped forward and made herself recognizable to him, and he dropped the knife and went right to her arms. So think about that. Think about how many times you see on the news where that type of situation goes bad. It's a one-time event for us so far, but that's one child that was changed, right? That was one child we had an impact on just through having an officer in those classes and making that connection. And so what our hope is and what our goal is here is when we can take these young kids in elementary school and get them into these immersive music lessons where they don't have to pay for it. They're provided an instrument and they're provided free instruction because this is a high poverty area. The parents can't afford it. The parents can't get them to class. They're struggling. Most of these kids are probably on average eating 2 of their meals a day at the school. And when school's not in session, they're not eating 3 meals a day. So this extra attention on that child, the teaching, the other adults being involved, and them learning an instrument, someone, trusting them, giving them a tool, right? A violin, a guitar, is building up their hope, and it's making them feel important. Something they don't have in their lives usually, or a lot of times. And so they learn a skill, they practice, they can fail, they can make mistakes, and, well, the cop's doing it, he's worse than me. So they can actually even feel better about themselves because they see a badge really doing bad at it. And it builds their self-confidence, right? And then they want to come back to class. As we're seeing in the numbers already, they want to come back and they want to encourage their friends to join, which tells me it's doing something positive. It's building self-esteem. It's encouraging them to perform and stay there in the class. It's improving their impulse control. What we're hoping to see is a reduction in referrals for discipline, improvement in attendance, improvement in grades, and we'll be getting that hopefully soon, and we can see how that played out. But also think about now that child is excited to come to school the next day. That's a huge change right there. And when they're excited to be there, they're going to pay more attention in class, and they're going to do better in class, which means they're going to advance better prepared to the next grade, and so on and so on. And their siblings that are living with them are going to get that after effect, right? That's going to diffuse into the siblings. It's also going to diffuse into the parents. This child that was just attending school and getting by is now learning a skill, and they're studying, they're committed, they're showing the self-discipline to learn it. And now that parent has increased pride in that child because they're seeing their child succeed, they're seeing their child commit to something. And so the number one word that I've kind of talked about this when I discussed this program, and the biggest thing that we can give a child is hope. And what we're seeing with this program is it gives the child hope that there are people that care about me. I am important. I do mean something. And we're giving parents hope that they're not alone. And no matter how hard they're struggling and what their circumstances are, there are people that care about their child. There are people that care about their family and are providing and supporting them and helping them along. And that is the real importance of this program, is if I can keep those kids involved in something that gives them impulse control, self-discipline, and hope, when someone approaches them with drugs, when someone approaches them with a gun, when someone approaches them about committing a crime, they will have the inner strength to say no. They will have the ability to step away and not get involved in that crime in the first place. And when we go back and we look at the kids and teenagers and young people that are out there shooting, out there getting involved in crimes, once you get involved in one violent crime, your likelihood of being involved in another one goes up exponentially for each time it happens. That it's a self-replicating prophecy. It's gonna keep happening, and it's gonna happen more frequently. So keeping that kid from making the decision to begin with is that proactive stage where Tucson Youth Music has really filled a need there. And Dana's been leading that program and keeping our instructors and teachers in there. The original study that they're redoing now with the 5 cities, has that started yet? So we fought and tried to get involved in the original person who did the study is trying to see if it can be replicated in other cities, and they picked 5 cities. We fought to be one of those 5 cities. Unfortunately, instruments and teachers cost money, and we got funding to go for about 2 years from the Department of Justice, from Ward 5, and a few other donors that have backed us to keep this going for 2 years. But we couldn't supply a 5-year constant flow to keep that going and get in on that study. So what we're hoping is when this data comes back, we can get out there, fight for some more grants, and keep this going, because the success we've seen is pretty good, and we're pretty excited about it. We're pretty happy with it. We have some of our other board members here at the table, so if you have any questions, please, afterwards, feel free to talk to any of us, ask us about it. It is a wonderful program. And that was a long way to tell you why an old cop is hanging out with musicians and not singing.
You available for questions?
Yeah. Are there? Yeah. Does anybody have any questions or?
Other study that you're modeling, or the initial first pass, was there a clear-cut delta in those metrics, the attendance of class, blah, blah, blah? I mean, is there data at some point that actually shows this works?
Yeah, I'll bring Dana up here to speak on that.
Hi, everyone. Dana Weir, President and CEO of Tucson Youth Music, and the answer is yes, there are metrics that show significant improvement across literacy, language development, mathematical skills. Those 3 markers in particular, significant improvement from 15 to 20-some%. And the students who scored the lowest at the beginning of the Long Beach program that Chief Peterson mentioned, those students who scored the lowest had the biggest gain. And as we all know, literacy and language skills are markers for success. So these children are learning far more than music. They're learning how to engage with other students in a way that's not violent. They're learning how to give and receive feedback. They play together with their instruments, and they're learning to play together as young people in an elementary program or a middle school program. We've heard over and over that there's laughter coming from our classrooms. And it's taken me, I'll speak for myself, it's taken me a little while to realize that's significant. These kids, the older they get, the more reserved they are, because they're bound by some gang alliances, and they don't want to accidentally make friends with the wrong person. So to hear laughter coming from the classroom and to see them playing games together, learning about eye contact, learning how to engage, there are statistics and there's lots of anecdotal evidence.
Alan Rogers, question.
Yeah, thank you for speaking with us. I just wanted to put a plug in. Is Robin Stoddard here? There he is. Our club, actually he should tell you more about, supports Right Flight. Do you know that program? So kids who get their grades up in school get to fly in an airplane. And it's been a great, very successful program. Right. And then just a quick question, do you think the gun violence has gone down because of this? I know it's only 1 year along here, but do you think you see results that way?
So yes, gun violence in that area has gone down since we started that project. I can't say it's because of this solely. And in fact, this is something that's will have an effect years later, right? We're going proactive. We're trying to address the children that are not there yet. But with some of the other things we've been doing, I want to say roughly 3 years now, what was the most violent 500 square meters in the city has had maybe 1 or 2 gun violence incidents in the last 3 years. Since we started implementing all these overlapping strategies. And that falls under the P&I, eventually Police Network Investigations became Viva when we rebranded it as a city name. And that falls under the mayor's Safe Cities initiative that we're applying in different areas. So as we identify new square areas to address violent crime, we apply it. The area that this is in now is in what's called a maintenance phase, because we had violent gun crime just went down so drastically, we didn't have to keep investing as many resources in there. But that's where then a program like this comes in to keep those kids engaged and not let it fester and become a problem again.
What are some ways we as individuals or the club could help you with, like resources, volunteering, instruments, things like that?
Dana?
Two things that we need, first and foremost. We need visibility like this. So thank you all for letting us take your time today. Tell our story. That's the most important thing you could help us with, is telling our story out there to potential funders. Because without the funding, this program will not go forward. For example, we provide the students with a brand new instrument. It's serviceable. It's not fancy. It's a guitar or a violin that's new, and it's theirs to keep as long as they're in the program. And many of these students have never had anything that's theirs, much less new, that they don't have to share. So what we're doing is very deliberate. We're bringing in qualified educators, and we pay them. So all of that together costs us some funding resources from the private sector. This whole program is dependent entirely on grants and private sector contributions. So those are the two things we really need. And again, thank you for having us. And if I may, I'd like you to say hello to Granger Vinyl, our board chair, Tucson Youth Music Board Chair. Rick Gregson, also on the board, chair of the development committee. Rick can talk to you about our fundraising needs. And one of your own is also a board member at Tucson Youth Music, Luis Hernandez. There he is, over there. Thank you, Luis. Former board member, and then I'll stop, Ann Lancero. So again, thank you all.
You may have just answered this. You mentioned guitar and violin, but when they haven't been exposed to music, how do they select what it is that they want to play? And sounds like you are limited on the type of instruments that they might, like a clarinet or a saxophone or things of that nature.
We've learned some lessons along the way. These kids are very familiar with mariachi, folklorico. The school where we are conducting our classes, interestingly, is fairly rich with music. So we were unsure how our program would fit in. But it did fit in because not everybody's cut out for the more structured formal programs of mariachi, orchestra band, folklorico. So the children self-select. And we did try to throw in a wild card early on of saxophone. And we learned that these children, they didn't know what a saxophone was for the most part. And maybe had we gone with trumpet as a mariachi instrument, we might have had better success. But we decided, let's keep this simple. Guitar, violin, everybody's familiar.
Last question.
Thank you so much. There's been many, many studies done that say how important the arts are to kids learning in school, and it does all the things you've said, and it breaks my heart when they take the arts out of schools. So thanks for doing this.
So as you all know, this club is very focused on children's literacy, and so we ask our speakers to sign this book that we'll put in our Make Way for Books library, and it is called Music, which seems a little bit appropriate for this. So we'll ask the chief to sign the back. And also to let them know, and those of you who are on their board, Anne and Louise, know that we do have a scholarships program, and we do have mini grants, so you guys can all get together and apply. So that would be lovely, because that's one of our priorities, is helping kids. So thank you for being here. So now we get birthdays. And before we start, I need to let you guys know that when we talked last week about who was the longest term Rotarians, apparently it is actually Bill Harlow. Stand up, Bill, our longest term Rotary member, and he's been a member for so long he didn't even remember how many years over 50 it was. So we're just going to leave it at 50 plus years in our club. So thank you, Bill. And now we get to wish happy birthday to Drew Vactor, 5-star web design and snorkeler and deep sea diver par excellence. So come on up and say hi, Drew.
You just get to see Matt at McHale Center, so it's good to see him here. So, thank you, President Dott. Just take a moment to remember and thank my sponsor in Rotary, past District Governor Billy Joe Varney, who was a great president of this club, a great friend, and on my board when I was president of the Restaurant Association, so we were good friends for a long time. So I'm trying to catch up with Bill, but he's staying ahead of me. I've only got 40 years in this club, Bill, so with 34 of them with perfect attendance, so I've made a lot of meetings. We made up Chicago #1, saw the Paul Harris sites, his home and his grave, and went to Rotary headquarters in Evanston. We also made up in various different languages, French in Tahiti. It was kind of English. On the Great Barrier Reef, we toasted the Queen with beer for lunch. Munich was a little hard to understand. Rome, it was a little hard to understand. Dubai, Jerusalem, and Candy, my lovely wife. We're going to celebrate our 57th anniversary this year. So. I became Rotarian, as that's one of those questions. Actually, when I retired in the next quarter, I had to pay the bill myself. but really, it was Arnie Jacobson, who's a great. Is Arnie here? No, but he's a great facilitator, and he invited me to join a group that was trying to determine what we would do for our major signature fundraiser. And we spent a year doing that, and he just did a great job facilitating that, to create a signature fundraising event. And then once we decided on it, then that group was the core of, and Candy and some others who joined us, of course, that actually built our car show 20 years ago. And so that really was a turning point for me. And then shortly after that, I was in charge of a committee, which I asked Arnie to join me on, and Bill Harlow and Charlotte. And it actually was all past presidents except me, to write the next 5-year plan for the club. And so those things they were really big moments in my life in Rotary. I think Polio Plus remains another big thing. My grandmother, Fan Kane, brought the Cerebral Palsy Foundation to Tucson and Cleveland, and so we were always around disabled kids trying to to live a normal life, and became very aware of polio and the problems that created as well. And we're to the point that we have almost gotten rid of it on the planet, that close, but you have to keep pushing or it comes back. And so this is my donation. This is goes towards Steve Pickering's Ride to End Polio, and I hope everybody's involved in that one way or the other. And we thank those who are participating to raise money for polio.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Happy birthday, Drew, from March 1st, so last weekend. Next, we have Charlotte Harris, who you all know, and Charlotte is retired, but you know that she's a stand-up member of our community, and I think one of those reasons could be that she played the alto saxophone in high school. Wow. So, I think you guys might have come up with your sax teacher. Sorry, I gave it away.
For our birthday, we are to share when we became a Rotarian. My late husband, Mike, was a Rotarian, so I was a Rotary Ann for 15 years before joining this club. I was always impressed how members would step up to work on a project together, and I continue to appreciate that, how our members and other Rotarians do that. But the deep in the heart Rotarian came to me when I had personal challenges, and fellow Rotarians have stepped up in support. And truly members became and continue to be like a second family. For my birthday donation, I'm donating to the Rotary Foundation in support of 5 of our riders for polio. Luis Hernandez, our new District 5500 Ride to End Polio chair. Daryl Stewart, who's been a part of the ride leadership since the beginning. Alan Rogers, our 2026 car show, and has been an annual rider in El Tour for 38 years. And Gary and Candy Hirsch, who I hope will join us from Portugal with a modified indoor ride. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte. And next we have Mr. Daniel Allen, whose birthday is on the 12th. And I was pretty impressed to read that, did you know that he has written a book? It's called Summoned, and it's been downloaded from a reading app 50,000 times. Wow. So that's a lot of letters there, Dan. So come on up. And happy birthday.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
also
Doc.
car show winner, by the way.
It's a reading plan based on the book. I wish that book had been downloaded 50,000 times. So, this question, when did you become a Rotarian, sounds like an event or a point in time. And I think for me, it's more like a process. I think I'm becoming, I still have a red badge, becoming a Rotarian, and it's happening especially as my heart for Tucson grows. And that is happening through interactions with a number of you, and it happens as I listen to speakers like today and get to hear so much more about the state of the city and what is being done to address significant issues. The president of the university, the head basketball coach of the men's basketball team, Rob Draper, who was here, head of TMC, head of Banner Health, and, you know, I could go on listing, but it just helps expand my view and horizon. And then participating in ways to help the city, right? Contributing financially, cleaning up roads, voting on the distribution of funds, serving at the car show, working on the strategic plan committee. The Whiskey Fellowship's been pretty cool too. And it did not hurt that I won that 2025 Torch Red Corvette.
Thank you, Dan. And a special thank you for jumping in and really helping out so much with the strategic plan. This man is amazing. So thank you all. And the next fun thing we get to do is introduction of a new member. And that introduction will be from an old member okay, sorry, a long-term member. So, Rick Rose with Film Creations, or retired from Film Creations, is going to introduce us to John Wilson, who? Rick Rose.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm coming up on 40 years too, but I don't know how fast it's going to go from here, if it's gone that fast behind me. Anyway, I am proud to introduce John Wilson as our newest member. John works as a financial advisor at Ameriprise, and on his application, I stated he's an ex-Marine, which Dorina correctly corrected me on, and said there is no such thing as an ex-Marine. Once you're a Marine, you are a Marine. John is married to Olga, has one son named John Jr., and he's 28, and he's a CPA. And I got to know John better by making a video of his 25th plus 2 wedding renewal party, which was postponed by 2 years due to COVID. But there I learned he was really greatly respected by his fellow Marines and by his close friends. John has been past president of the Lions Club and is a Melvin Jones Fellow. And really the highest compliment that I can give John, the biggest recommendation, is that our friend Joe Pennington suggested that John take over as my financial advisor, and he hasn't made me broke yet. Please help me welcome John Wilson as our newest member to our STEAM Club.
Thanks, everybody. I'm proud to be a Rotarian. Yeah, I'm really glad to be here. It's all about opportunities as far as I'm concerned. I've been given a lot of opportunities in my life, and I know that some people haven't. So I'm looking forward to assisting in that effort. Thank you.
All right, now we got to do a picture. Oh,
picture?
We get a picture. All right, here we go. There we go.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I like you're having fun.
All right. And there you go.
Well, thank you, madam.
Thank you, John, and welcome. Welcome, John, and thank you. And I bet right behind me is Dan Calm, right? Yeah. I can just kind of feel the vibe.
Hey, Mickey, you picked the ticket. Don't lose that number. Sorry. Sorry. I was going to let Diana do it, but then I decided, well. All right, ticket number. Pot, by the way, is $1,237. The small pot today is $110. So if you get your ticket pulled, you get $110. We pull the king of clubs, you get the big pot. There's about 31 cards left, just so you know the numbers. So 307 509 307 509. Who won? Oh, good for you. All right. Let's see. Now that we know that Diana didn't win, which is always a big concern. A club, but not the king of clubs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan, and thanks to everybody who picked and purchased tickets to make the pot so big. We like that. So Nancy Stockton is going to come up and talk about RYLA, the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy. And we started last week talking about our giving moments of other areas to which this club contributes. And RYLA is a big one that we have sponsored a lot of kids and some kids from other clubs in addition to our own. And Nancy's going to tell you a lot more about that and introduce some of the kids who participated. So take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Dot. All right, I am your self-appointed RYLA coordinator. And if you don't know what that is, RYLA is Rotary Youth Leadership Award. It's award. Academy I like better. But anyway, the RYLA camps, what our district sponsors is a 3-day, or actually 4-day, Friday to Monday over President's Weekend. And you can think of it as like a giant team builder. As soon as the kids get there, they're put into teams, and then they do all these activities team building activities, leadership activities in their team. RILA camps happen around the world. It is an international thing to have RILA run by the district. So right now I'm going to, and what's the purpose? To build leadership skills in our youth and introduce future Rotarians to Rotary. And now these guys who attended are going to talk about their experience.
Hello, my name is Sophie. It was really fun going on that trip. So I think the most meaningful thing about RILA is getting to know all the people there and like seeing how like people react to like different like activities and stuff, or like speaking. Sorry, I'm not used to this. They had like fun activities, like there was like this really tall zip line that you had to go on. You would go like 100 feet in the air or something like that, and you zip down, and that was very scary at first until I actually did it. They also had a talent show where I got to sing in front of people, which obviously, as you can tell, I cannot do that. And then they also had like a team, what's it called? A mission challenge thing that we had to do with everybody to learn like how to do like clean water and healthcare and environmental things, which was really fun watching people do things because most of it was really funny and really educational. So that was fun to do.
Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Sanchez. I'm a senior at Edge High School, and I've also attended RILA. For me, RILA was like honestly, I'd say it really changed the way I approach other people and the way other people approach me. I felt that it was like I was able to build a lot of skills that I didn't know I had. And honestly, at first, when I first got there, I was really scared. I didn't know a lot of people there. I knew maybe like 5 people from school, but even then I didn't talk to them much. But over the course of those 3-4 days, I was able to make multiple friends. You know, I came back. I had like 10 different people to talk to when I got back. You know, and so that was like really it was really special to me. It was something that like I didn't know I could do. You know, honestly, I felt I was never really too approachable, and I was able to make a lot of friends. So I was thankful for that. And over the course of those 4 days, we did what was a challenge course. We did a bonfire. We played kickball, we did a hike, and we also did this where we painted, and it was like a little flower. It was Ben's Bells. It was for like this kid who passed away really young, and it was like honoring his legacy wall. And honestly, like the impact on all of us, like you were able to see it. It was like I honestly didn't want to leave. It was so bittersweet once we were getting on those buses. Like I was able to meet a lot of amazing people. I made a lot of amazing connections, and I couldn't be more thankful. So, you know, I really appreciate RILA, I appreciate Rotary, and I think it's a great program, and I think it's something that you guys should keep doing.
Hello, so Bill Tong, I'm a member, and I went along as an adult advisor, and it was just, I got kind of roped in at the last minute by Nancy. But I tell you what, I mean, there was 120 kids. Most of them wearing the blue sweatshirts, and the way they had it was so the kids that haven't been wear blue, and then if you're wearing a red sweatshirt, you've been, and so you're a youth leader, and then if you have green, you're the adult kind of advisor, but maybe you're more of kind of just making sure you don't have, you just kind of not babysitting, but you're kind of making sure nothing bad happens. And then we're the one group, the adult advisors get to keep our phones. They take the phones from all the kids, which is really interesting. And you sleep in the cabins with them at night, and they're all talking. They're like, oh, we wouldn't be talking now if we had our phones. So it was really cool. And then we took a lot of pictures. The high ropes course, they were standing on a telephone pole like 40 feet up and jumping and grabbing a bar. And I mean, you could see these kids, and the kids in the red sweatshirts were running the whole thing. So it's a really great experience. We participate. We help with we do all the things the kids did. I was on Team Orange, so I had my name tag. we were in the talent show, we did the skits, so we participated as adults. Very worthwhile. And, you know, sitting with these programs here and Right Flight, I mean, the thing I think that we can do, that at least I'm seeing, we're empty nesters now. Our youngest is off to Kentucky for college, and my two older ones are in their early 20s. But, you know, there's this youth thing that if we can connect with them as business leaders and as adults, when they can see the kind of thing that they're talking about here, and that Right Flight thing is amazing. My kids did that as well. But you're on this trip and you're kind of setting good examples for the kids. You're teaching them about, you know, shaking hands and, you know, looking them eye to eye and stuff like that. And you feel like the kids kind of appreciate what you're doing. And what the thing that I thought was funny, we're in these big rooms with a clock on the wall, an old-fashioned clock. None of the kids can tell time without their cell phones. So they kept asking me, what time is it? I'm like, there's a clock right there. But it's a great thing. So if you have kids or grandkids that are in high school, when we go on they take applications for this RILA, it's a great trip. And, you know, Nancy's going to we're going to kind of spearhead it a little bit more. But we had kids from Yuma, Sierra Vista, Rio Rico, and not many kids from Tucson. So it's a good opportunity for us to get our kids involved in great programs like this.
Okay, to wrap it up really briefly, last year we sent 6 kids. This year we sent 12. The goal for next year is 20. The application process is in October, so everybody needs to get those kids to sign up for the applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Bill. And a special thank you to Sophie and Daniel. You guys did a great job. Woohoo! And as I mentioned at the beginning, RILA is one of the organizations that is heavily supported by our club. And so we've sponsored, like Nancy said, 12 kids from Yuma, from all over the place. And so we intend to keep going for that. But you need to know that that's one of the things that we give our money to from this group. So thank you all for your contributions, and thank you guys for being there. Okay, announcements. As you can see on the screen there, we have all kinds of things happening here going on. Book Club Fellowship, which you just heard from Nancy Stockton. She's in charge of that. Next week is the EAT, the events around town, and we all know that Rotarians can eat. So go online and sign up. I believe we have 5 or maybe 6 different places around town, and it's just a way to get to know your fellow Rotarians, have lunch together, no formal meeting, just get together and pick where you want to go. So go online and sign up, and they're very fun. We have a golf fellowship, we have track, we have hiking, we have a golf fellowship, so all kinds of things coming up. So there's a list on your table, and there's a list on the screen, and there's a list online as you sign up. So next, we have our red badge selfies. So on slide, the first one is Diana Cannon and Nicole Von Winden, and look at that hat on Diana, cool. And then we have Diana on the next one, Diana Cannon again, with Joda Chatelet and Carrie Benjamin. I don't think that's the right one. There we go, that one, there it is. Okay, now the next slide is Robin. There we go, Robin Stoddard and Benicia Kerr, who was introduced last week as the Executive Director of United Way. And then to the right is Vic Jacobs, Hoot Gibson, Joanna Zeke, Margaret Higgins, Diana Medeiros, and Cindy Barbie. So what a fun group is that. So if you see somebody with a red badge and you have a blue badge, take a picture. Let's see, next we have I told you about the events around town, and is there the list? Yeah, there's the list of where it's going to be. And at Mojo Cuban Kitchen, which I've never been to and would like to, but I'm hosting. And then we also have Vera More, great Italian food, Reforma for the women's lunch, Mountain Oyster Club, and Forbes Meat Company downtown, a new full-on butcher. So for all of you meat lovers, come join us downtown. Replacement Mixer is at the Trident, there we go, on Wednesday. There we go, yeah, Trident Grill, it's the one on Swan. So again, register online and do this space. It's going to be capped at 70 people, so sign up quickly and get ready to go on that one. And then also, April 1st, as we mentioned last week, is our speaker is going to be Senator Mark Kelly on April 1st. So please sign up initially. Our club, it's going to be open to our club to sign up with your guests. So sign up as soon as you can for yourselves and for your guests, because then we're going to open it up to members of other Rotary clubs. So we want to make sure that everybody here gets an opportunity to go, because that too is going to be capped attendance-wise. So sign up. And let's see, then service projects. Diana is going to talk about our service projects for January and February and talk about our winners. So, Diana.
Thank you. I am really proud of our club. I was telling Chief Peterson what Rotary does and my own particular involvement. We now have 15 service projects with the addition of Western Wind Senior Apartments. And all of our projects are voluntary. We don't require you to participate in the service projects, but we get an amazing number of people who step up, and that's really the way you get to know other Rotarians. And at Food Bank, for example, we had 50 Rotarians, not all from our club, but pretty amazing and packed an incredible amount of food. And our club steps up. So the Western Winds project, we're collecting items as we do once a year for one group, and that is in 2 weeks. So please start gathering personal items for these people who really need your help. We award a winner every month for the Rotarian who has done the most service that month. And in January, this is going to be a big surprise, but Charlotte Harris is our winner. And so now you can go out for a birthday dinner. It's a $50 gift certificate for North. And in February, I don't see him here, but Jack Camper won in February. And there was like a 5-way tie, and we just pulled a name, and Jack is the lucky winner. So thanks, everybody, for all your participation.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Jack. Jack, maybe he's watching, I don't know. But to talk more about the Western Winds program is Jim Murphy, former county supervisor, former everything. So Jim's going to tell us about this project.
He's still here, though. He's not former everything.
Oh, good thing. Okay, sorry.
We're going to go to the opposite end of the age spectrum than the two things we've talked about. And that's helping over 100 individuals who live at the Western Winds apartments. The only difference between them and those that live at La Posada and the other facilities like La Posada is they don't have much money. They're in subsidized housing. Many are women, not all, whose husband had no retirement, so they're living basically on Social Security, which none of us could begin to do, to live only on our Social Security checks. They need help with some personal items. We've had flyers for 3 meetings now on the table. You have them on there today. Take them home. Personal care items, items for them to clean their apartment, their independent living, it's not assisted living. Other items like books and puzzles to help them collectively have a good time. So the more we can help them, they'll have a few bucks left maybe to buy something different for lunch or dinner or something for their apartment. Everybody can participate, and I mean everybody, those here, those watching, and those who aren't here today. It's not scheduled too early or too late, which is some excuses that we can't participate in some of our service projects. It doesn't require a lot of physical ability. It doesn't last for hours, and these are all some excuses that we all have to not participate in all of the projects, and we can't really participate in all of them. And the reason that everybody can participate, unless you're out of town the week of March 16th, is that on March 18th, we want you to bring the items. We'll meet you right out front, take the items from your car, and you can go ahead and park. But also, if you can't make it that day, you can take these items to the office, the Rotary office, on the 16th or 17th. So there's very few excuses that you can use not to help these 100-old seniors who live in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Pardon me? Tell them to go to the dollar store and buy a bunch of stuff. Oh, dollar store is great. Absolutely. Or clean Clean your own
Repeat
house
that,
out
Jim.
sometimes.
Yeah, repeat
I know
that,
we
Jim.
have books and
That was
puzzles
a good
that we
suggestion.
can give.
Or David, repeat that.
You can buy a lot of items at the dollar store that would be super helpful to bring in.
Thank you. Okay, other Jim, where are you, Mr. Lubinsky? Former president of our Rotary Club and former Mr. Bookman and now retired.
Thanks, Todd. As many of you know, 7 years ago, Karen and I lost our daughter Nicole to suicide. And on March 28th, in our community in Green Valley, we're hosting the 3rd annual Quail Creek Out of the Darkness Walk, benefiting the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. It's a non-competitive walk of 2 different distances. There's no cost to participate in the walk, but we will be accepting donations on the day of the event. If you would like to participate but can't show up for the walk, you can make a donation online to the Team Nicole website, which is on screen. I also have a bunch of brochures here that have all that information. And I'd like to personally thank the not insignificant number of you who've already stepped up and made a donation this year. So thank you.
Last year, that organization was a recipient of a Rotary grant. So thank you, Jim, and thanks for supporting that, and thank you all for supporting that. And now we have Dan Kalm, yet again.
Yet again. All right, so all of you have seen the wonderful Matt Blair today up here taking pictures. Thank you, Matt, for doing that. And what we do is we have a bunch of behind-the-scenes jobs. So we have mystery editor, we have photographer for every meeting, we have and the mystery editor writes up in the Tucson how the meeting goes. It's pretty quick. We have greeters, we have pledge and song, and we have inspiration. And we're refreshing the list because in the course of a year, some people fall off, some people get ill, things change. We need some volunteers. So if you're not Daniel Allen, who jumped in and did everything, but you're looking to toe tap, you just want to put your foot in the water, it's about every 6 or 8, 9 weeks, and we need some volunteers to refresh our list. We'll help you with everything. On Tuesday or Wednesday, Monday, the Tucson coming out, Monday, and it's going to have an ad in there. But if you can get a hold of me or get a hold of the Rotary office, we would love some new members to help us with some of those behind-the-scenes kind of things. So Matt has been photographer for, 5 or 6 years and does a good job. But if you like hanging on a camera and taking pictures of everybody for the meeting, it'd be super nice if you wanted to do that and help with the rotation. So thank you very much.
Okay, so next, Alan Rogers. Where'd he go? Oh, he's over there.
Do we have a slide?
Alan Rogers, our chair of the car show. There we go.
My patient came in the other day, he said he'd been bitten by a wolf. And I said, where? He said, no, it was a regular wolf. Think about it. All right, speaking of volunteers and being proud of our club, we, as car show committee, we attend events around town to sell car show tickets, and we need people, members here, to volunteer to take a shift to sell tickets at these events. So the Youth on Their Own Gala is sold out. The home show is sold out, but we still need people for the Festival of Books. So if you'd like to come and sell tickets at the Festival of Books at our booth, please volunteer. Speak to Wally Johnson, raise your arm, or me, and we would do it. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan, and thank you, Wally. And thank you all for being here today. And to our virtual guests, we know Chuck's going to be watching, so hi, Chuck. And so thank you all for coming today. We hope you enjoyed the meeting. And if you saw something here you liked and you're not already a member, please consider joining us because we'd love to have you. There's a couple of empty seats around here that could be filled. So, yeah, please think about that and join us. So thank you, Mickey Peterson and Dana, for speaking to us today about your great, fabulous program. Thank you to Cookie Monster, Gary Olson, and Restoration One. Thank you. Yay! Welcome, John Wilson. Where'd he go? He left. Okay. Well, welcome, John, when you see him next. Welcome him as being our newest member. And it was great to see the Ryla kids. You guys did a great job. So thank you to Nancy. To our kids, Nancy and Bill Tong also, for doing that. Thank you. And Gary, bye. We love you. We're going to miss you. So make sure you all say goodbye to Gary and Candy. Wish them luck, and make sure you visit them in Portugal. Make your reservations early. So next week, we do not meet here. We meet around town. And so there was that list of 6 different restaurants around town to go join your friends and have lunch. And so register on the website for not just for the event around town, but for the replacement mixer, and also for the speech by Senator Mark Kelly on April 1st. So, Joe D.
Yes, what a youth celebrations of service. Let's hear it.
Yay.
And now we'll do a little musical tribute as well. So, who remembers this song?
Uh-oh.
And the beat goes on.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
Goes on.
And the beat goes on. And the beat goes on. Cheers to everyone.
We're adjourned. Thank you all.